What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Sanchize405 here. It's on the warpath with your man Amir as well. And you
What's
see
up?
the what's up? You see the title on the video. We know what it's about. We know what we saw yesterday. The Redskins wet the bed. They pissed. They shit on themselves. Uh, they look like unpotty trained dogs. And this is a product of what? Getting your hopes up. Yes, I said it. Um, and we have nobody to blame but ourselves in Jay Gruden. But Amir couldn't penetrate, couldn't punch it in, could not cash in. DJ Swearinger, probably the best player of the game, but he would never admit that he was the player of the game. He'd just rather tell us how to root for things and everything like that. But
Mm.
I I mean, it was horrible. It was pathetic
The
on
crowd was
all.
a preseason game.
Yeah, it really was. The crowd looked like it was a preseason game. We'll get into that too. Um, the fact that the way the team played, and we saw something that I didn't think I was going to see out of Alex Smith, but he overthrew a wide receiver, and and Adrian Peterson looked like he was 33 years old.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can sit here and be apologetic. We can be
And of
sad.
course, a lot of Alex Smith's numbers came from, garbage time and everything like that. A good majority of that, probably. I believe he was 28 of 46 for 306.
Mm-hmm. And that, I mean, you can't.
And, I just think that, I didn't think that he played that badly. It wasn't a good game by any means, but it wasn't a bad game for him.
Mm-hmm. It
Of
wasn't a
course,
good game
they
either.
couldn't get the running game going. It
Mm-hmm.
couldn't. Doesn't matter if they were trying RPOs. It doesn't matter if they were trying Chris Thompson with a run. Doesn't matter if they're trying Adrian Peterson with a run. When your leading rusher is Jamison Crowder, you're having a bad day.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you're the Packers and you got Ty Montgomery back there. And I mean, this from looking at this from the start of the game, they looked sluggish. They didn't have any energy. They let T.Y. Hilton, and I talked to a lot of people this past week, and they're like, well, the Redskins look good. The Redskins look like they could win the division. I mean, I knew people who were getting ready to buy playoff tickets after beating the Cardinals. And then we see how the Cardinals performed against the Rams, which the Rams are a great team, favorite to run the tables, one of the favorites to run the tables in the NFC this year. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, it was one game against a putrid team, against a quarterback who has made his career off of a lie pretty much. And Sam Bradford, I wouldn't have drafted him with a first overall pick going back on it in 2010, but the Rams did.
Shanahan wanted to draft up for him.
Yeah, glad, thankfully. Well, maybe Shanahan could have brought something out of him, but instead they decided to get. They started a trade for Donovan McNabb, and that comes to another point. Stop getting these players on loan. I like Alex Smith, I do, but he's not long term. And the mentality of this team has always been we're we're ready to win now. There's
Mm-hmm.
no rebuild. There hasn't been a rebuild. The best opportunity this team had for a rebuild was back in 2009 to 2010.
Right.
And they didn't do that. They got an old quarterback, aging, injured running backs.
Oh, that's how
Yeah,
they lured Mike to the team. In all honesty, they like, oh no, we're if you saw a couple years ago, we started 6-2, we were there, and I know our team is right there. We need that quarterback and we need that coach, and you're that coach, Mike.
I mean, I'm not a.
Probably ruined that man's career.
I
Probably
mean,
some
to be
get
honest with you,
involved.
Mike Shanahan ruined his own career. I wouldn't. I'm not going to blame that on them. Mike Shanahan couldn't win without Terrell Davis and John Elway. He proved it. He won maybe one playoff game after that stretch. So I'm not going to put all of that on the Redskins. I think that's just Mike Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what the coach was. He could never settle on a defensive coordinator. Um, that and that big switch. I still don't think this team has grasped the idea of a 34 defense because ever since this team took over, that style of defense been bottom of the barrel. Even in '09, I think '09 was probably a good year for the defense.
Yeah, oh nine, they're still a top five defense.
Yeah, so just saying. But I'm going to sit here and we talked about this too. Jay Gruden was frustrated. He blamed himself for the mistakes that happened yesterday. Which yeah, it's on him. But I mean, I think that it's a coward's way to go out and blame it all on play calling. I've always been a proponent of the coach puts that play in there 9 times out of 10. They put that in there for it to work. That's what they do. I didn't understand the pitch toss to Chris Thompson on 3rd and 1 with how they were attacking. I didn't think that we knew it was going to be a pitch or some kind of toss play to stretch the table and stretch the edge to bring the edge out there. Um, I I didn't get that. That's probably one of the very few times that I was like, well, I didn't understand where that play came from. But it's up to the players to execute. That's just what it is. I will defend that all day long. I'm not defending the coach, but at the end of the day, it's about execution,
Mm.
especially on offense.
I agree, especially when your coach supposed to be this offensive guru and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to talk about the wide receivers real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about them.
All right. So today, if y'all don't know, we signed Michael Floyd and was it Bershad or Bershad?
Bashad, I think kind of like Breeland.
Guy who was drafted by the like 2 years ago and did nothing.
Yes.
So we signed him today along with former Cardinals receiver and I believe Vikings receiver, Patriots receiver, Michael Floyd.
Yes.
Why are we still trying to figure out the wide receiver position at 2 weeks into the season? We
Good question.
that we still haven't exploited all of his talents yet.
Right.
It's not that he has health questions really anymore.
Uh-huh.
I mean, all 16 games last season, it's more than Jordan Reed can ever say in his freaking career.
Right.
Um, he wasn't given the targets that he needed to be. Apparently, that's due to like practice reasons or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the case, then homie needs to practice harder.
Yep.
Have one of the best slot receivers in the game in Jameson Crowder.
That's your opinion.
It's been proven.
Yeah. Pro Football Focus.
And you signed this guy Paul Richardson and free agency as your big free agent acquisition, other than your trade for Alex Smith. And all he does is maybe I think he's caught 2 balls,
Yeah.
maybe. He's supposed to be your deep threat. You've thrown it deep to him one time in 2 games, out of a total of 72 pass attempts. You've gone deep twice, I think total. You overthrew Crowder yesterday,
Yeah.
then you overthrew Richardson that one day. slightly overthrew him. I think Richard should have caught that one, but that's neither here or there.
Yeah, that's in the past. uh, no, but
And
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, and you 2 years ago, wide receiver was one of our strongest points. We had 2,000-yard receivers. We had one receiver who was almost at 1,000 yards, and I think he was
Mm-hmm.
at 942 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So you almost had three 1,000-yard receivers in one season, which is absolutely amazing just to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay, we couldn't capitalize on that game at the end of the year to go to the playoffs, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's still, but still, you decide not to pay your top two receivers,
Or pay at least one of them.
or at least pay one of them. They should have at least paid Djax. At least
Yeah,
pay
I
Djax.
agree.
You
He
know,
had an off season last year, but look at him this year. He's got 3 touchdowns so far in the first 2 games.
yeah, exactly. He's looking just like his old self. If you are if you're planning on making Dawson into that Pierre Garcon, okay, you let Garcon walk, and then you should have paid Jackson.
Right.
Jackson only signed, I think, a 3-year, $30 million deal. You're telling me they couldn't have come close to that?
They didn't want to pay it.
Which is just ridiculous. I know you want to save money and everything,
Right.
and I think some of that saving was everything was Cousins' fault because they wanted to pay Cousins. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
get that. But you but you should have known that Cousins didn't want a deal anyways.
Well, be careful how you go there about that, Amir. It might hurt
Or can
people's feelings.
uh, well, they can be tougher.
Oh,
You know, because of that, you've now screwed up. All right, crackpot theory. Amir's crackpot theory time. Kirk Cousins has screwed us for the next 4 years. There, that's it. I said it.
that's not really a crackpot theory. I don't think. I think that legit. That's probably that. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't disagree with that because if you look at it, they handcuffed each other. I think it's mutual. Sometimes you got to be the bigger person. If you're in a toxic relationship, if you're an adult, you have to just cut that by the wayside. Yeah, they may do certain things that we can't really talk about on here for you and to you, but at the end of the day, is it worth your mental sanity and your pocketbook to keep them around?
Hell no.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, preach. And I'm gonna sit here and and this is what I hate because I've learned to hate that quarterback in Minnesota. I really have. I, sir, I got
We'll feel
muted.
myself burning his jersey later on.
Yes, we should do that. And I got lost for a second there. I hit mute on my mic. But I've learned to despise him. I've learned to root against him. People might say, "Oh, well, you're bitter." And you know what I tell them? Hell yeah, I'm bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm bitter. I'm going to stay bitter about it. The fact that you could have stayed here, Kirk Cousins did nothing different than what Kevin Durant did.
Oh, it was way different than what Kevin Durant did.
No, it's not. It's the same damn thing. I love Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant stuck it out in Oklahoma City.
Oh, come on now. Come on now.
Westbrook decided to be.
Come on now. Come on. Didn't you go to, I'm talking about, didn't you go to the best team that will take your services?
Well, I mean, he could have gone elsewhere. He could have gone to Cleveland if he wanted to. He probably could have gone to.
He could have went to Washington.
He could have gone
He
to
could have
Washington.
went to a whole lot of places. So don't give me that crap.
But no, I won my basketball team 2 championships.
Yeah. See, look, there you go. That's what I'm saying. But it's no different. Kirk Cousins went where he knows it would be easy to win. Which, I mean, I don't think it's a bad business decision, but, it just tells you where his loyalty is. Kirk Cousins like Terrell Owens. He's like, I got to feed my family. That's why I hope he throws picks. That's why I hope he gets sacked. That's why I hope he overthrows Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. But that's just what I hope. But where you're stuck at right now is you've got a quarterback on loan. That's what Alex Smith is. There's no way he's going to play out the duration of that contract in Washington.
And what are you hoping for? Like that we go, no, not you, but like what are they hoping for? Like Washington's hoping for, like the powers that be in Washington D.C.
They think they can win a Super Bowl.
Of course,
nothing on this team says that they can win a Super Bowl.
No, they're not ready to make a Super Bowl run.
Nothing on this team says they can win a playoff game. But that's what they think.
I agree. That's what they think and everything.
But it's not going to happen. What
realistic expectations? Are they, probably 8-8 this year?
Yeah. I don't even think this team, from what we saw in Arizona, is the Redskins played a team that they were better than, but the team was completely inferior. Mm-hmm. Then they play against a quarterback who is actually worth a damn and don't know how to act. I told people all last week, they were like, I listened to the Redskins radio broadcast on the way going to Kingsport, Tennessee, and I heard Al Galdi, the voice of the Redskins, the unbearable Doc Walker, the annoying Chris Cooley, and the Hall of Famer John Riggins, all saying the Redskins should win this by multiple times. Doc Walker even said, if you can't stop them, somebody deserves to be cut. Well, Doc, I'm going to tell you this right now. Everybody deserved to be cut after that game, but you can't do it. He said if Preston Smith couldn't get on the edge against his left tackle when they didn't have Costanzo there, he's like, somebody getting cut tomorrow. No, people getting hired tomorrow, a.k.a. in the eyes of the wide receivers. Hell, Junior Galette's like, hey, I'll come back.
Junior Galette says he'll sign the vet minimum. He doesn't care.
He don't care. And I really do wish he would come out there. See, if we can channel Junior Galette like he was on that beach when he pulled them belt out on them grown-ass adults, that's what we need. I'm not saying, violence towards anybody or nothing, but we need somebody come out there with a belt and whoop somebody's ass into shape. Yeah. It's the same thing over and over again. Over the last 14 years, the Redskins have had quarterbacks that were unproven and untested. Jason Campbell's, your Kirk Cousins, your Robert Griffin III's. Or they went to get people on the twilight of their careers. Your Mark Brunells. Your Donovan McNabbs. Your Alex Smiths. When does this start making sense to people? And I'm not saying that this is over. Don't think that I'm saying that I'm ready to sell in the season, because I've told you this before. I think it's corny in week 2 that we're talking about this, but this is the way the media has framed it. This is the way some fans have framed it. Mm-hmm. I'm just pointing out that the fact that these are legitimate questions. I'm asking the question, why do you do this? If it hasn't worked in the past, what thinks you're going to do it? I love the fact that the Redskins stopped spending money and wasting money on free agents.
I love that fact too.
I do. I honest to God do. I think that's the best thing that could have happened to them. But now they don't spend their money on anybody.
Yeah, now it's just gone.
That's like they do the complete. They go nuclear
Mm-hmm.
on either side. They either go far to the left, they go far to the right.
Yeah, which it's ridiculous. Like you're saying, either they are making it rain on players,
Uh huh.
or they're like, no, I'm just gonna put this into my shavings here.
Right.
But like, what are they hoping for? That they can be able to be like Jacksonville or Oakland a couple of years ago, where you had 60-70 million dollars in cap space.
But look what happened with those teams.
Exactly.
Jacksonville
Well,
finally.
Jacksonville is a different story.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville's a different story. But you have the same type of idiots that are running Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I say, we didn't go get a TV darling and give them $10 million a year for 10 years.
Jacksonville's actually my pick to win the Super Bowl this year, but that's a different story.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a different. Nobody asked you.
I love you.
Uh huh. If you love me, why do you treat me this way?
I don't know.
Yes, that's what I'm. That's what I'm saying.
But
But now go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I don't really remember what I was going to say there, but so that's why.
But yeah, no, it's either hard in one direction or hard in the other.
Yeah.
And the same thing with their draft strategy. You're telling me that they're. Am I happy they got Deron Payne? Yes, I'm happy they got Deron Payne in this year's draft.
Uh huh.
That's been beaten like a dead horse.
Timmy Settle.
Timmy Settle, exactly. But you're telling me that Deron Payne probably could have been available, probably at 19 or 20. You
Uh
tell
huh.
me. I know all the quarterbacks were gone at that point, but 3 picks after they picked Charger, was it the Chargers that picked up
Derwin James. Here you go. Okay, I know where you're going here.
you're telling me they could have called the Chargers and like, hey, do you want Derwin James? Make us an offer.
True.
Or when the Saints traded up for that linebacker, they gave Green Bay a first round pick in next year's draft. You told me the Redskins couldn't have got on the phone with the Saints. I'm like, oh, you really want this player? Make us an offer. And you tell me they could have gotten an extra first round pick in next year's draft?
Uh huh. No, I completely agree with you.
It's just their their personnel management has just been
Mm-hmm.
just. It's not that it's been like awful because you have good acquisitions. I like Swearinger. I
Mm-hmm.
think good tenacity to the defense. He brings that certain meanness that you need.
Yeah. I mean, I like Terrell Pryor when they picked him up last year.
Oh, come on now. We're not.
Oh,
We're not.
that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. The little thing about him not performing. Forgot totally about that.
At least Swearinger's performed. I'm just
Yeah, it's
saying.
true. And
It's
he's in a contract year too, isn't he?
this is his second of 3,
Oh, second of three. Sorry. Okay. I thought he signed a 2 year deal.
which is the only reason I think they decided not to go Derwin James. Besides they wanted extra help up front, was because they felt because they have Swearinger for another 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, your boy Monte Nicholson didn't look bad yesterday. I think they might have actually figured out the safety problem.
I think our safeties aren't the problem,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that Dunbar's playing, and if Norman can get back to 2015 Norman, we'll be fine, or
That
even
won't
2000
happen.
Norman.
That won't happen.
They honestly, I think they're gonna get out of Norman's contract next year.
They should get out of it this year. Say bye,
If they,
boy.
if
Say
they can
boy,
trade him,
bye.
yeah, before if they can trade him during the bye, I'll be happy.
Yeah, boy, bye. Send them to New England. 32-year-old. I mean, I was hesitant about that move when they picked him up back a couple years ago. So I mean, but what do I know? And we talk about that embarrassment. Dustin Hopkins, I guess you would say he was the offensive MVP of the game. He went 3 or 4 on field goals, and he missed a 49-yarder, which kind of
49-yarders.
Yeah, we'll say that one more time.
But he did hit 2 other 49-yarders.
He did, but he should have hit 3 other ones too. So, I mean, the game was close for the most part. Like they almost got within 2 at that point, and then that last drive where they couldn't put anything together, and then you just had to watch the sloppiness. Just watch the sloppiness. And another added insult to injury there is this team, and we're going off the football realm for a second. This team tried to market the hell out of this this season opener. I mean, they tried to put out the bells and whistles. They were talking about this pavilion that they were at, and they were moving the marching band. I mean, people on the sidelines had the fan crew or whatever. They put all this effort into it. But at the end of the day, you can't buy fans. You really can't.
Nope.
You can't buy fans to come out and see your product. I like watching the game from home because I'm like 7 hours away from FedEx Field. I don't have to worry about the threat of rain. I don't have to worry about the threat of getting in a fight with a drunk, unless that drunk is my friend who's watching the game with me. I don't want to go to a game. And if they keep on playing like this, one thing about FedEx Field, the field is shitty. The fan experience is shitty. And the third thing, everything about the stadium is shitty. I don't see why. This is why players probably don't even come to Washington now. You live in Virginia, then you have to drive up to Maryland to go to play your games. I think it's the most bizarre thing in the world. But that's just my personal opinion. This team will not see people in the. They should have just kept the season ticket thing. ESPN reported that that the total paid attendance yesterday for the game was 57,013, and FedEx Field at capacity is 82,000. You do the math.
Yeah, there's 20,000 seats empty there. So.
Yeah, 20,000 seats empty, and it looked pitiful. It really did. I thought I was watching a preseason game from how they
empty. But how many fans were those? Were Colt fans?
It was a lot of blue. I'll say, and maybe I'll chalk it up to regional location, because a lot of these Colts fans may have been Baltimore Colts fans, and they've always been Colts fans.
That could be true.
And it, but it's embarrassing though. This team will never unless this team gets better, you won't see people at that crap hole of a stadium. You won't. Jacksonville tried to put all the bells and whistles in that thing. They put a freaking pool up in their stadium.
Yeah.
But when did people start coming to Jacksonville? When they started winning. And tell you when? I mean, and you're going to see the same issue. It's going to look like Christmas at FedEx Field this weekend. Because you're going to have just as many Packers fans there as you're going to have Redskins fans there. I mean, it makes me mad just to see that, and that somebody keeps on telling Dan Snyder that what you're doing is okay, whether it's him or the people around him. It's all right. Like I told you before, the Redskins prided themselves on winning off the field. Hello, Bruce Allen, you are officially losing off the field now.
That's correct.
They are. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that.
Mm-mm.
But
And I know there's this thing of them wanting to probably promote what's AJ Smith's son? His name?
AJ Smith, what are you talking about?
AJ Smith, the guy who was
Chargers?
the Chargers GM. His son is like basically going to be the GM of the Redskins the next year or two.
Oh yeah. I can't think
Kyle,
of what his name.
right?
Kyle Smith?
Is that his name, Kyle?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. There's too many like offspring whose name is Kyle in this
Yes,
organization or part of this organization.
Shanahan's.
Shanahan's and the Smiths.
Kyle, no, you're right. It was Kyle.
Oh yeah. So Kyle Smith. So I know there's this whole plan in place that that Schaefer's going to become president and Kyle Smith's going to become GM and Doug Williams is still going to do Doug Williams things and Jay's supposed to
He's
be
nothing
this.
but a damn cheerleader.
Yeah. And Jay's supposed to be this offensive genius. Honestly, for someone who's supposed to be an offensive genius, I get to see any kind of spark of genius.
From who?
For 40 points since he's been there 3 times, I think. I want to say the Jacksonville game in 14.
Jacksonville, Saints.
And the Green Bay game in 16.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the only time they scored over 40 points. I'm sorry, when I hear offensive guru, I'm expecting that board to be lit up.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Regardless if you have a defense or not, you should at least be in shootouts.
But it's different from being a head coach and being an offensive coordinator.
I suppose that's true. That is true.
I mean, you can suppose it all you want to. You know it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's the truth. And you know I'm not wrong for saying that.
No, you're not.
I'm not even joking. I'm not. And I would be passively aggressive with this. You know that. I'm not. You know I'm right.
You are right. I am saying
it's two different things. Jay Gruden should not be calling the plays. He has too much to worry about. When this team was effective offensively was when he was not running the offense.
This is true.
His first year he ran the offense. What was the team? What were they again? 4-12. Then they passed it over to Sean McVay.
9-7, 8-7, 1. So with McVay as play caller, they were 17, 14, and 1.
And what is Sean McVay went on to do the last 14? We'll say 16 games.
18 games.
18 games. We'll say 18 games. Sorry, can't do my math right now.
It's a playoff game.
Yes.
Well, let's see. I can't. Their record last year was what? They were 11-5 in the regular season.
Yes. And then they're 2-0 this year.
Playoff game, so we'll call it 11-6. And so far they're 2-0. So they're 13-6.
Yes.
In Sean McVay's first 2 seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Angeles Rams of St. Louis, formerly
now of the city that's closer to you. So, but let's go. We got some comments here, Amir. Let's read comment world. We got our good friend Gus. He said it all starts with coaching, play calling, and not having the team prepared. Here's a thought: Gruden, other teams scout you and watch film on you. Sometimes you need to change the script from last week. Amen. Because the Cardinals aren't the Colts, and the Colts aren't the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes on to say, you notice when Peterson was running between the tackles and running off tackles, he had some success rather than running wide left or wide right. Yeah, because he doesn't have that speed anymore. You need to run that bastard up the middle.
And that's where I think the Darius Geis injury comes into play.
Yes.
Obviously, if Geis didn't get injured, Pearson wouldn't be playing. That's besides the point.
He wouldn't even be on the team.
He wouldn't even be on the team. He would still be at home.
Working out.
Yep.
Then Gus says,
Williams
mm-hmm. And then he talks about the defense. Kerrigan and Preston Smith have almost become non-existent. No, I disagree with that. They are non-existent. It's not becoming. They are.
Yeah.
We've talked. You and I have talked about this before. I have not been impressed with Ryan Kerrigan. He gets 10 sacks. He gets 10 sacks, but they're 10.
He was 9 sacks last year or 10 sacks? No, he had
10. I think it's 10, 11, right?
Yeah, he had 11 last year.
What was the stat on that? What was that on third and fourth downs?
One of them came on third down in a game that they lost.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only big thing. To me, that's non-existent. The difference between J.J. Watt, who was in that draft, excuse me, I can give one better because he wasn't in that draft. Von Miller, who was drafted second in that draft, and Ryan Kerrigan.
J.J. Watt was in that draft. He was drafted
second. J.J. Watt. The reason why they were drafted ahead of Ryan Kerrigan was for what? Because they can change games. They get to the quarterback on third down. They get to him on fourth down when needed. They cause turnovers. Ryan Kerrigan, for what he's worth, he's had 3 interceptions for 3 touchdowns. 2 of those were in losses.
And the thing is, you could have drafted J.J. Watt in that draft.
Yeah. Oh, we know.
J.J. Watt went 11th overall to the Texans. You had the 10th overall pick, and you decided to trade down with Jacksonville.
Thank you, Mike Shanahan. That's why you're not coach anymore. See, that's what I'm talking about. Right there. He had no defensive awareness. I mean, I like Kerrigan. I love him. I think he's a stand-up dude, but he just doesn't affect anything. He really doesn't. I mean, it's like, that's like me going to ask you for $10 when I have $100 right in my pocket.
Right.
That's what Ryan Kerrigan is. He legitimately is that he's a flood car. He'll get you to point A and point B, but I just don't. I don't know. I might be getting into some deep water here, but Yin Yang. Where are they going to put a new stadium? It's not the Virginia Redskins, although you could make that argument. It should be. Yeah, you could.
Oh, that's a little too close on play on words. I think they need to put it at the RFK site. That's where it belongs.
But the DC government won't allow that.
I think they've laying up on it. I think that's what they're in serious talks with right now. Is actually to go to the old RFK site, tear it down, and build a new stadium there.
Mm-hmm. And then we had
they're leading up with FedEx Field until like 2029, anyways.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, doesn't he own? Well, that's all owned by him. It's all owned because Cook bought that property outright from Prince George's County.
Mm.
And then the Redskins, they did bring in Paxton Lynch for a workout.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
I didn't know that.
According to Yin Yang. And then according to the Washington Times.
Too bad he's not practice squad eligible.
Yeah. I mean, you can still bring him in, though. I mean, you know, put him somewhere. Maybe we can start him at the end of the season.
I mean, I think you probably cut Ladler again and put him back on the practice
Yeah.
squad.
I don't know who else they brought in on a workout, but and then we talked about Perriman coming in, and then and Floyd. I like the Michael Floyd pickup. I loved it. I think that he's a big physical receiver. So I like that pick.
Yes, I
And
mean, he has a good amount of
yeah,
speed.
yes, and then Redskins HTTR. They said that bye bye Gruden, can't wait. Hello 2019.
I
Is
think
it bad? Is it bad that I take reservation with that? No offense. I don't.
I
We're
think
in
it's
week.
say that way
It's
too soon.
too premature for that.
Yeah,
Like we had people on the
I'm
live
saying,
stream yesterday that were getting ready to leave after the second quarter. And then people wonder why this team isn't good. If you don't care, why do they care?
mm-hmm.
No, it took a while. DC finally got a championship this summer. They got their shot at their championship with the Washington Capitals. But
They got into the championship with Washington Valley.
yeah, and almost got another one with the Washington Mystics.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say I understand where you're coming from. I really do. But hold on, ease up on me. Whoa, Nelly, just channeling my inner Keith Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Just chill out for a little bit, and everything will be okay. Let's hold on. We got Green Bay. That's a tough game. Then got the Saints. That's another tough game. But you never know. You could split those. Be 2-2. We're 2-1. Come this time next week, people will be talking a different tune. Don't play into what the Washington Post said. Don't listen to what JP Finley says. Don't listen to Rick Snyder. Don't listen to those guys.
Listen to us.
Listen to us, yeah. I mean, we're crazy. We don't know. We're far from Ashburn, but I mean,
I'm about as far as you can get.
yeah, you are pretty. You're out in the world of BFE, so um, yeah. But I mean, don't give up on this team just yet. Now, if we getting halfway through the season, we're like 1-8. Okay, totally understand. But don't give up the ship just yet because we never know. Alex Smith, what was that year that Kansas City started out? They started out some ungodly number. I don't know if it was in 2015. They started out like 1-5 or something, and they went on to win like 11 games in a row. All right, am I looking at? Is that the right thing?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think that was 2015.
Yeah, yeah, that was.
They started like 1-4, and then they went on and they literally they won out.
Yep, they sure did. I'm thinking. Let me see here.
I'm pretty sure it's 2015 or 2016.
And look, see, and Andy Reid is making us look foolish again because he had a quarterback as a secret weapon. Yep, this team started out 1-5, and it changed all in October, and they went on to win 10 games in a row and won a playoff game, and where they shut out Houston. So, I mean, Alex Smith is in a new city. It takes him some time. It's going to take him some time. I'm giving him half the season to show me that he can do something with the tools that's afforded to him.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't do that, then I don't think there's that much for Alex Smith. And the only reason why I say that is he's 34. I think 30, getting ready to be 35. There's nothing for him. Say that again.
He just turned 34 in the offseason.
Okay.
The thing is, we can get out of his contract after next year.
After next year.
After next year. So we are stuck with him for 2 years.
Okay. Well, shoot. Bull butter, as we like to say.
But at that point, depending on how bad we finish,
and we're 11-5. He started out 11-5 in Kansas City back when he started in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Well, granted, that team started out 9-0.
Yeah. They didn't lose a game until they played the Denver Broncos, who I think were also undefeated at that point.
Yeah. Probably.
That was the last time we saw Matrix mode Peyton Manning.
Dear God. Yeah, that's right. He was on that team. I forgot about that. Yeah, what really screwed them that year. Hey, and then they beat us and the Raiders in consecutive weeks in like a sandwich thing. That was that embarrassment in the snow at FedEx Field.
Oh, yeah.
But before we wrap up here, Amir, do you have any nuggets, kernels that you want to give to our friends out here?
I do.
Yes.
Guys, be easy. Be easy. It's 2 games. It's 2 games in a
Well,
15-game season.
yes.
I'm not panicking yet.
Don't panic.
Sanchize is not
Yeah,
panicking yet.
I'm not.
We gotta, we gotta stick together.
Got to stick together.
And just remember that it's a long season.
Just remember it's a long season.
Cowboys don't look that much better.
But they
And
beat the
currently,
Giants.
Alabama could probably beat the Giants.
Roll damn tide.
We are second place in the division right now. Remember that.
Not one, but 2 times a lady. Mm.
And if we just keep on pushing through,
Yeah.
we get to host the Green Bay Packers next week.
Yeah.
We'll see how that
We do.
goes. And then we have our bye week, and in 3 weeks from tonight,
Uh-huh.
we will see them on Monday Night Football against the New Orleans Saints.
Bum 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 bum.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we go,
hail,
yeah.
hail, y'all.
Hail. Together we hail. Did you see that? Like, together we hail. That's on the Redskins website.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean together we fail?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Paul Bright said they should move back to DC, maybe the old RFK Stadium. I agree with you guys because you said that too, Amir. And then he said, wrap up. I just got here. Let's keep going. And I said HTTR, guys. I don't really have that much left to go on here. We're actually simulcasting this on the podcast so we can record it onto there too.
Let me our fantasy team real quick.
Yes, let's talk about that crappy team.
Hey,
did you switch out Leonard Fournette?
Yes, I know how to do that stuff. Thank
Okay,
you.
I didn't know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Currently, we are behind by 3.18 points against Florida Flip Flops. We have Will Dissly, the tight end from Seattle, in.
Who?
And they have Trey Burton, the tight end from Chicago, in.
He already has a touchdown.
He does have 1 touchdown already.
And he's going to beat us. What's the score?
Let's see here. On the Warpath fantasy team, 71.46 to 74.64 for Florida Flip Flops.
So we're winning? No, we're losing, right?
We're losing, but just by a little bit.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad we have a residential Vinny Serrato here.
Really?
Huh? Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
I did? I thought I was just thinking that.
Jackass.
So Vinny, I mean Amir.
Yes.
Oh gosh, Vinny, Amir, Vinny. Just you guys will meet each
Mm-hmm.
other. So are you gonna give away? So like, how much are you gonna give for Deion Sanders to be on the fantasy team?
I don't know. Ask your mom.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, oh,
Oh, that was
oh,
hateful.
oh.
Don't. Oh, that was a little mean.
I'm sorry. I'm sure
That
mom's a
was
very lovely
hurtful.
woman.
That was. She is. She's a lovely lady. She puts up with me. Um.
That's true.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So watch out
Whatever,
that man.
dude. Whatever. So anyway, we didn't get to pick'ems last week because I was researching all last week um, for my master's. So it's almost over with, guys. And then I'll be back to full force at this, yelling all the time. Because I'll admit it. I'll personally admit that I've been terrible over the last what? When I start this last October. So over the last, it'll be 12 months next month. Been horrible. I admit it.
Yeah, but you're doing good work though. You know, I'm proud
Yeah,
of you.
I know. And Amir's been doing a great job at doing the great work that he does here, and I appreciate him for keeping me honest and up to date. We, I'm still committed to doing the live stream. We got to wake him up because people were asking where you were at.
So you all know I work graveyards. I work night shifts.
Yes.
So I was watching the game with my dad, but I kept dozing off every so often. So I did not want to doze off on the live stream.
Like the
However,
time you
next
did on
next
the
week will be
draft.
fine because I have the night off before.
So
So
you'll be with us when against the
I will be with you
Packers.
when the Packers come to town.
Awesome,
Breaking
awesome.
news.
Yes, breaking news. Mr. Amir will be there, and you should be there or be square because it's kind of hard to do this by yourself now once you've done it with somebody. So, oh gosh, but we look forward to it, and hopefully we can get a W. Not George, but just a W. And after the Packers tied, and we can make them ones across the board, 1-1-1, and hopefully we can move up to 2-1 on the season. Also,
That'd be
no,
nice.
you know what? See, Paul, he's good because he says he wants us to keep on going. I know you're kind of pressed for time right now, but the
I got a few
NFL,
minutes.
the NFL must change its overtime rules.
Oh, thousand
It
percent.
has to. That is the worst thing in the world. How do you get paid? See, there you go. I knew I was going to get mad about that. How in the hell do you get away with this? It's the second time in 4 years that two division opponents, the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings, have tied in a game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second consecutive week that we've had ties.
Yeah,
Cleveland almost had another tie. I mean,
they
what is
did.
this, 1957? College doesn't tie. Like, how hard is it to figure out? And then these dumbasses think that it's a great idea to go down and say, hey, let's cut overtime by 5 minutes. And then the overtime rule is so bizarre in the fact that you have to pretty much, what do you have to do there? You go downfield. If you kick a field goal, then it's not sudden death. You can match it.
Right, and
First,
then it becomes sudden death.
then because this is the dumbest thing in the world because it's actually still sudden death if you get a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
It's still like it's like stop lying to me, man. Why are you always lying?
Why you always lying?
I don't understand how complicated. This is why Jeff Fisher, he was on the competition committee. No wonder his teams were 9-7 or 7-9,
No, yeah,
six and
July
ten,
9th was
whatever they
officially
were,
no
whatever the
show.
hell they were. Because you can't these rules like that they make, and then you don't really like. How can you judge on these personal fouls, roughing the passers, the fact that a guy brought the weight, his entire weight, onto a quarterback? How? How can you tell that? I'm waiting. That's right. There's no answer for that. There's no answer for that. You're seeing the wussification of the National Football League right before your eyes. I joked about 12 years ago when the Titans hosted the Giants, and Matthias Kianukwa, who was on the Giants, wrapped up Vince Young at the time, and he got out. He thought the play was over with. I wish I could find that clip and show it to you, because he wrapped him up and then let him go. I said, that's going to be a sack in the future. And damn it, if we're not almost there. They don't like people. We oversell the quarterback position. We overdo it too much.
I'm surprised they're not in like wrapped in bubble wrap. Honestly,
yeah, they really are. There shouldn't be. They should really wear a penny, and we should go to. We should just go to flags if that's the case. Then you probably have like Joe Montana and Joe Namath will come back out and play. Yeah. So, but anyway, I told you I'd keep this going for you guys just a little bit longer, and I did. I promise that a little bit. So tell us what you think, man. That's my spiel. We'll be back here hopefully on Wednesday to preview the game against the Green Bay Packers. Don't forget to subscribe to us on the Apple podcast, whatever they call it, the iTunes podcast. We're on there. Spotify, we're in there too as well. But give us a listen. This will be on there. And you can also watch us too, but you can take us in your car. We appreciate you guys for subscribing and listening to us and letting us rant. Yeah, Paul, you know we always got you, man. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you guys for being loyal. Especially you and Gus. You guys are always on here with us, so we appreciate you guys.
Always appreciate it.
Yes. And if we didn't mention you, yeah, we appreciate you too. Redskins, HTTR, Yin Yang, we appreciate you guys for just coming in here and listening to us rant for a little bit. We do it because we do it for the love of a team that probably will never love us in the same way that we love them. Wait, are we still talking about football? Anyway, guys.
This is my personal life.
Sorry, didn't mean to bring up any wounds. As always, what we say here, we love you guys. And wrapping it up, love, peace, and hail, y'all. And we'll be talking to you real soon. We are out.